Yep, it was not the ending that we wanted. The Philadelphia Eagles will be hosting the NFC Championship game as they bested the Rams in the divisional round. We're going to talk about it on this bittersweet episode of Ramily Talk, and it starts right now.
Maybe you from the 1970s, when the Los Angeles Rams was known as the Prison Foursome because of that defensive line. Or maybe you in the city of St. Louis, the gateway to the Midwest, where the greatest show on turf brought home the first ever Super Bowl championship. Or maybe you in the here and now, with the Rams back in LA, winners of Super Bowl 56. You can rock Eric Dickerson. You can rock Marshall Faulk, Isaiah Bruce, and Kurt Warner. Or maybe you rocking Cooper Cup, Aaron Donald, and Matthew Stafford. It doesn't matter, because when it comes to this, it's all about the Los Angeles Rams. Horns up, Rams South. Time to talk Rams football.
Good day, Ram Nation. How y'all doing today? January 23rd, 2025. Yes, Ramily Talk is here, and it's a bittersweet episode, as you heard in the opening. Obviously, we know what the bitter part is, which I'll be recapping the NFC Divisional round against the Eagles. But the sweet part is what I'm going to end the show with. Stay tuned for that towards the end of the show. But it's been a hell of a year, and we're gonna get right into it. We got some things to take care of, and get you some news towards the end of the show of how things are going to go, because we usually know how this goes. So let's jump right into it. So we got some news here. I split the news up in two separate categories. So this is the first part of the news. Rams signed 13 players to reserve/future contracts. So you know, here are the 13 players. Here are the 13 players here. You have AJ Akula, offensive lineman, Quentin Civas. As you can see here, you probably don't know these names because they been on the practice squad for most of the season. As you can see, those of you see at the top, it says each signee spent time on the Rams practice squad this season. So with that being said, these guys will have a spot when the Rams will convene back together in the spring for, was it mini camp, OTA, stuff like that, before we get into training camp and stuff like that. So these 13 guys will be part of the Rams when springtime gets, I want to say March, April, when the team finally comes back together for the first time since the end of the season. So this is what we have here. We'll see if any of these guys can make the leap to from practice squad to active roster, they will have the opportunity. But it'll all start in springtime. So these 13 guys, congratulations, are still having a future job in the NFL, whether it's practice squad or higher up. But you still have an opportunity. So congratulations to you 13 gentlemen. Also, Rams donate event at the shop at Hollywood Park gives back to those affected by Los Angeles fires. Now I have the article here that I'm going to read from my phone here. On Friday, January 17th, the Los Angeles Rams team up with LA's 11 other professional sports organizations to host one of three simultaneous major donation events taking place across the city, including at the shop at Hollywood Park next to SoFi Stadium to benefit those affected by this month's unprecedented fires. Rams legend Aaron Donald and Todd Gurley joined the distribution event alongside front office staff, mascot Rampage, and Los Angeles Rams cheerleaders to represent LA together. And those who don't know, all the other teams, the Los Angeles Angels, the Los Angeles Angels City FC, the Los Angeles Chargers, the Los Angeles Clippers, the Los Angeles Lakers. You also have the Los Angeles Dodgers. You have the Anaheim Ducks, the LA Galaxy, the LA Kings, and the Los Angeles Sparks. So all the major sports organizations in the city of Los Angeles, they all came together to do three simultaneously donation events for the wildfires. In partnership with all the teams, Owens Foundation joined forces with Fanatics and the Fanatics Foundation to distribute $3 million worth of Fanatics merchandise to the city of Los Angeles who are still evacuated from their homes. Teams also collectively contribute thousands of the essential items that were given out at the three venues across Los Angeles: SoFi Stadium, Dodger Stadium, and BMO Stadium. So it's nice to see that all the sports teams, all the sports organizations, along with Fanatics, team together to give back to those who were affected by these wildfires that are finally being contained. And got to give a shout out to all the Los Angeles Fire Department, the men and women, even some police that were able to do their part, put themselves in danger to make sure that they contain these fires and stop the spreading damage that has been ravaged across Los Angeles. So want to give a shout out to them, get a shout out to not only the Rams, but everybody else from the Lakers, the Clippers, the Dodgers, every sports organization in Los Angeles for coming together and looking out for the people of Los Angeles. Those who are not famous, those who are not, those who have to work a job 5 days a week, put in 40 hours a week to make ends meet. It's a great thing for that team in that city to come together the way that they have on this endeavor. All right. So we're gonna take our first break. We're taking two breaks today. Normally we only take one. We're taking two breaks today because we're gonna take our first break. And when we come back, we got to recap the game that ended the Los Angeles Rams season. Unfortunately, we have to do what we have to do. We'll be back.
Whether it's news, the largest egg producer finds bird flu in chickens at a Texas plant, weather, devastating tornadoes rip through the heart of the United States, inspiration, a breast cancer survivor completed the journey of chemotherapy and now begins a future one of matrimony or sports. Michael Jordan is shown on a photo with Diddy. LeBron James has a video extolling the virtues of a Diddy party. This has been yet another beating a dead horse presentation. We got you covered. BS3 Network proudly presents The Morning Shift with Cole Johnson, live every weekday morning beginning April 29th at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central. Poppy J.
You got the option to cry for the government. You got the option to protest. You got the option to keep buying. but this is also an option.
Wise El Jefe.
We're the first tech geeks. We're the first gamers. We're the first everything. Everything. Like Gen X's, we are the ones.
BS3 Network proudly presents the crew from the New York boroughs who never wants that smoke. Nah, they want that fire. Bobby J and Wise El Jefe. Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure.
Shop hats and official sports gear at Lids. Lids is the leader and number one destination for hats, gears, and everything that moves you, making it the perfect shop for fans to find official sports hats, merchandise, and gear. Represent your team, your town, and your style with a snapback adjustable fitted hat or beanie from thousands of college and pro teams. Browse the very latest sports jerseys and t-shirts from the best teams out there. Lids has officially licensed professional and college sport team apparel and hats featuring the hottest brands and trends. Shop online or visit one of the 100 stores across the country. Locker Rooms by Lids.
Join Ryan McCarthy
I became a Jets fan because Kermit the Frog was my favorite Muppet because he was green, and the Jets wore green. That's how I became a Jets fan.
and Dustin Henry
ESPN is cashing all in on let's pay a few personalities and we'll just kind of fill in the gaps.
as they walk you through all of the world of sports from their perspective.
The Albany Empire, it's a literal circus.
No credentials required. Where, Ryan, say the tag.
Where you don't need a press pass to talk sports.
Every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. On YouTube and where you can find all podcasts. Hey, Eagles fan. Join my man Cool McCain and a host of others as they break down every single game, every single week in an objective manner, and also from a fan's perspective as well. Remember, this cast feels just like you. Nobody likes you. And you don't care. Fly, Eagles, fly. Eagles Elite Podcast. Every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on YouTube and other podcast outlets.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Ramily Talk here. And yes, is that time for us to get our recap going on in the divisional round. It was the Los Angeles Rams going against the Philadelphia Eagles at Lincoln Financial Field, a snowy Lincoln Financial Field that is, okay? And unfortunately for us, Rams 22, Eagles 28. We already know this. We already been through this, but y'all are ready for me to talk about what I saw and what happened. As I look at this game before I get into statistics of the team statistics and the leading players of these games, the Eagles scored 3 touchdowns. 44-yard run by Jalen Hurts. 62-yard run by Saquon Barkley. 78-yard run by Saquon Barkley. You know, Jake Elliott missed the extra point. But outside of that, the Eagles beat us because they made big plays. They hit home run plays. Those 3 runs, and all 3 of them was running plays, by the way. That's what got them the W of us again. Because outside of that, I'm looking at it. I see a Jake Elliott field goal. 1, 2, three times. Jake Elliott missed 2 extra points. You know, Jake Elliott missed 2 extra points. He made 3 of his field goals, and that's how he got 28. 3 runs, 44, 62, 78. Because outside of that, Philly couldn't do much on offense. We talking what, one, two, three, four punts. We got a safety on them. I'm gonna get to that point in a minute. I mean, we did not let them blow us out. And Alex Smith said it on Get Up the day after that. He believes that Philly was bailed out by the bad weather, talking about the snow for the Philadelphia Eagles. Otherwise, he felt like the Rams would have won this game. I can agree or disagree with him, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to sit here and say we had our opportunities. We could have won that game, especially when the defense gets a safety on Jalen Hurts by Gilmore, who gets a safety on Jalen Hurts, makes it a 15-16 Philadelphia Eagles lead, a 1-point lead, and then Kerryon Williams fumbles the ball on the first play of the drive. Talking about a momentum shift like a pendulum. We made it a 1-point game, momentous in our direction, and Kerryon Williams fumbles the football. And not only did he fumble it, Isaiah Rodgers of the Eagles was able to return it to our 10-yard line. Thankful enough, the defense held him to a field goal, so it became a 4-point game, which could have been much worse. Then we get the ball back, and then 6 plays later, Matthew Stafford fumbles the football. And that gets returned to the Rams' 38-yard line. Yet again, defense holds them to a field goal. We are down. Now we're down a full touchdown. We had our opportunities. Now, let me go ahead and get you this team statistics before I continue on. Rams 402 yards of total yards to Philadelphia's 350. The two crucial turnovers by the Rams. Philly barely had the ball longer than us. We're talking what? Almost a minute more than us. This game was pretty much a game throughout the entire of the game. Two turnovers. Those things hurt. As you can see, Matthew Stafford, 26 for 44, 324, 2 touchdown passes. He had a fumble. Kerryon Williams, 19 carries, 106 yards. He had a fumble. Puka Nacua, 6 catches, 97 yards. He had a critical drop pass right in his hands for a first down. Forced the Rams to punt the football. Jalen Hurts, 15 for 20, 28 yards. Saquon Barkley, 26 carries, 205 yards, 2 touchdowns. Dallas Garrett was their leading receiver with 4 catches and 56 yards. What you have to understand is that the reason why I say we had a chance because we did. Your 2 fumbles hurt, especially most people would say that some people say that Matthew Stafford, but if you really think about it, Kerryon Williams fumble hurt more. We got to say this: a 1-point game. We are at our own 43-yard line, and we are not that far away from driving down the field, kicking a field goal because Josh Carty was perfect on the day. Josh Carty was perfect. We didn't have no missed field goal. He was, if I go back and look at it, I believe he was 3 for 3 on field goals. Let me see. 1, 2. He was 2 for 2 on field goals. He made all his extra points. He was doing good. So in the likelihood, we will took a 1-point deficit and turn into a 2-point lead. but Carry Williams fumbled the football. First play of the drive. First play of the drive. And you can tell in Lincoln Financial Field that stadium was very nervous. That stadium was on edge because after that safety, they was like, oh no. The way that this Rams team is playing, they can actually beat us. We're only up a point, and they get the football on a free kick. Fumble the football, put it back in their favor. Defense holds them to a field goal. We get the ball back. Matthew Stafford fumbles. Give them another field goal. So a 1-point lead turned into a 6-point lead turned into a touchdown lead in a matter of moments. Just a matter of moments. If I'm looking at this correctly, we got the safety at the, let me see. We got the safety at the end of the third quarter. But towards the end of the third quarter. Yeah, we got the safety at the end of the third quarter. And then to begin the fourth quarter, Carry-On Williams fumbled the football. A minute later, Philadelphia kicks that field goal. 2 minutes or so in the span of 5 minutes, a 1-point lead turned into a 7-point lead. A 1-point lead turned into a 7-point lead for the Philadelphia Eagles. Defense, yes, defense gave up 3 big plays. 3. If you really think about it, because the Eagles had 350 yards of offense, 350 yards of offense. So if I was to do some math here, which I'm finna do math right now, so 350. Now let's take away that 44-yard run by Jalen Hurts in the first drive of the game. That's 306. Let's take away the 68-yard that Saquon Barkley when he hit his head on the goalpost. That's 238 total yards for the Eagles. Now let's take away the 72-yard run that he ended up hitting his head on the goalpost. Outside of those 3 big runs for the Philadelphia Eagles, they gained a total of 166 yards of offense outside of those 3 plays. That's why I know for a fact Chris Shula and that defense, they're going to be wondering and they're going to be contemplating those 3 big plays. Because outside of that, we're talking 166 yards outside of that. Meaning the Eagles couldn't really do much unless they hit big and really big plays. Now, if I was to do some math here, so those 3 big plays by the Eagles, the 44-yard touchdown run by Jalen Hurts, the 68-yard run by Saquon Barkley, and the 72-yard run by Saquon Barkley, those accounted for 52% of the Eagles' offense. Those 3 plays. Those 3 plays counted for 52% of the total yards for the Eagles. That's the only thing with the defense. Outside of that, you got the Jalen Hurts 7 times. You sacked them 7 times, if my memory serves me correctly. Yeah, you sacked Jalen Hurts 7 times. You caused a couple of fumbles you just couldn't recover on. Jalen Hurts fumbled. Cooper DeJean fumbled on the special teams, but we just couldn't recover them. See, that's the difference. We couldn't recover their fumbles, but they recover our fumbles. You see how that works? Saquon Barkley had 4 catches for 27 yards. Devontae Smith had 4 catches for 21 yards. A.J. Brown, their number 1 receiver, had 2 catches for 14 yards. It's just the run defense got gashed at crucial moments of the game. First drive of the game for the Eagles. Then in the second quarter with Saquon Barkley. Then in the fourth quarter with Saquon Barkley. That's the defense. Outside of that, defense played great. Defense played their tails off. They played their asses off. Shout out to Christian and that defense. Y'all played your asses off. The only thing is y'all gave up 3 big plays. That's it. Don't give up those 3. If you don't give up one of those 3 big plays, the Rams probably win this game. But hey, most of this goes on the offense, and it's not going on Sean McVay. As some of y'all want to put it on Sean McVay, I'm not putting it on Sean McVay. Matthew Stafford, 26 for 44, 18 incompletions. A good 9 to 10 of those was because of inaccurate passes by Matthew Stafford. We're gonna keep it a buck. Matt, you played a good game. 324 through the air. You threw 2 touchdowns. You was set 5 times, but let's be honest, Matthew, let's be honest. There are at least 10 throws that you want back because you know if you'd have made a better throw, you'd have put the Rams in a better position to win the game. You know this. You know this. I know this. Those who watch the game should know this. You miss some throws. It's okay. It's okay. Those things happen. Just wish it didn't happen in this game, but it happened. Snow game. Ball may have been a little more slick than normal. You know, Puka dropped a couple of passes. Tyler Higbee dropped a wide open pass. I'll tell you, blown opportunities on the offensive end. So this one I'm not putting on Sean McVay. I'm not putting on all of them. I'm putting it on the entire offensive player unit. Because Puka Nakua dropped an open pass, a sure pass that he usually catches with no problem. Tyler Higbee dropped an open pass. I mean, when you just look at it, there were opportunities for us to make things happen. I mean, Puka Nakua had 14 targets, 6 catches for 97 yards. Tyler Higbee, he had 10 targets, 7 catches, 54 yards. You know, if you just have more accurate passes from Matthew Stafford, this game might have been different. Don't forget, are you ever talked about Kerryon Williams and that fumble that changed the momentum in the game back in the Philadelphia's hand? And then there's the offensive line. Y'all gave up 5 sacks. You know that, right? 5 sacks. Here's the thing. Here's why that's a problem. Because 3 of those sacks were blown assignments. 3 of them were blown assignments. And particularly when Jalen Carter got his sacks. Now, if you would have said if Jalen Carter would have overpowered somebody and got to Matthew Stafford, that's one thing. Well, I can live with that because Jalen Carter, he is that dude. Okay. So Philly, that's their Aaron Donald. It's Jalen Carter. That's their Aaron Donald. He's the one that they turn to say, bring the game to us. That's Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter had 2 sacks, though, throughout the game. And both of them were blown assignments. Especially on the final drive. On the final drive, I mean, what is our center doing? Our rookie center. Where he knows Jalen Carter is on his right side. He looks at Jalen Carter after I hikes the ball and turns his head, and Jalen Carter just runs right by and sacks Matthew Stafford. And remember, it was 3rd and 2. It was 3rd and 2 at the Philadelphia 13-yard line with 1:14 left in the game when the sack happens. We went from 3rd and 2. Jalen Carter gets the sack to 4th and 11 with 31 seconds left. And Matthew Stafford inaccurately throws the ball out of bounds to Puka Nakua. If he just would have thrown a better pass, that's a catch from Puka Nakua, and that's a first down. Clock may be still running. Puka Nakua may get out of bounds, but we have a shot to get in the end zone and win this game. But Kevin Dotson and our center did not execute the double team that they were supposed to execute on Jalen Carter. And that's how Philadelphia escapes us with a 28-22 win. I'm just giving you from my point of view. That's just the way I see it. We had our opportunities. We should have won this game. Without question, we should have won this game. But when you have turnovers, when you have blown assignments, especially on the offensive line's part, that leads to big sacks. These are results that happens. As the Rams are home now, and the Eagles gets to host the NFC Championship game against the Washington Commanders. Here's the interesting stat if you didn't know. The teams that had the most yards in the divisional round all lost. Let's think about it. Okay. You have the Houston Texans who outgained the Kansas City Chiefs in total yards. They lost. Kansas City Chiefs is hosting the AFC Championship game. The Baltimore Ravens had more yards than the Buffalo Bills, but Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills are in Arrowhead to take on the Kansas City Chiefs for the AFC Championship. The Baltimore Ravens are home. The Detroit Lions, the number one seed in the NFC, had a ton more yards than the Washington Commanders, but Jaden Daniels and the Commanders are in the NFC Championship game against aforementioned Philadelphia Eagles, who we have more yards than. But they are hosting the NFC Championship game, and we're home back in Los Angeles. It's not how many yards you get. It's the plays that you make versus the plays that you don't make. The Eagles had 3 big plays that counted for more than 50% of their offense. And we turned the ball over twice. They made the big plays. We didn't. We turned the ball over. They didn't. That's how that game went. We had opportunities. Defense played their tails off. Offense played their tails too, but they just had mental errors at the wrong time. They didn't have many errors, but they just had mental errors at the wrong time. And when those mental errors came about, Philadelphia capitalized on them. That's what they did. It capitalized on them. And there's nothing more you can say to it. But Matthew Stafford did tie the franchise record for most playoff passing touchdowns, tying Kurt Warner with 15. As well as we are the first team in NFL history to have 4 rookies record a sack in a single game. 4 of the 5 sacks for Jalen Hurts, or 4 of the 7 sacks of Jalen Hurts came between these 4 rookies. Omari Speights, Brandon Fitz, who didn't make it past halftime in the game with a lower leg injury, unfortunately. Wish he could have went, probably would have made some difference, but hey, we still had our chances. Jared Verse and Jalen McCullum. So we want to make sure we give our congratulations to those guys and Matthew Stafford on a great job, on a great season. Now we're going to take our other commercial break, our unusual commercial break. And then when we come back, we're going to give you some more news and notes before we call it a day on this one. We'll be back.
Drew Willingham.
In this case, yeah, you put the blame on Kyle Shanahan for apparently not preparing the team enough for the overtime rules, supposedly.
Cole Johnson.
Peyton was considered the winner, and he was the darling of all darlings for Gerald.
With a special appearance by Tyrone Alizé McDummy.
Ain't nobody calling me. Text. Delete!
Join these 2 football enthusiasts as they give you Total Football Talk. Live every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central on the Sertoba Media and the Comey Media YouTube channels.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Cowboys Talk.
The Dallas Cowboys got exactly what they deserved. Let me say that one more time, because you know it's true. The Dallas Cowboys got exactly what they deserved.
Dak Prescott is overrated and he shouldn't be paid, okay? And the same thing with Pollard. I mean, Pollard breaking the tackles at that 57-yard touchdown run. I mean, we needed that big time.
33 points in the fourth quarter. Let me say that again. 33 points in the fourth quarter. And that's off of 4 turnovers committed by the Colts. See, at one point, and the fact that at the end of the third quarter it was 21-19 and the final score was 54-19. Now that, ladies and gentlemen, that is completely unexpected.
Cowboys Talk is available on all streaming platforms, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, and YouTube.
Sports fans are gearing up, whether it be for the madness of March, whether it be for the Super Bowl, or even a little thing called WrestleMania. You can get all that at Fanatics, where they have a wide selection of gear from every league, including the NFL, the NBA, the MLB, the NHL, the NCAA, and the WWE. So go on and show that pride, that passion, that dedication fan that you are by whipping your team, your league, all your favorite players. Fanatics, official license, everything.
This is a BS3 Network presentation.
I want to do a TED Talk, but I don't have anything to talk about yet. I'm getting there.
Life is for the living. We're not here that long.
You can learn anything you want to learn without any money spent.
What do I really enjoy? What do I really want out of life?
I am your host, WIZE.
Are you in a life holding pattern? Well, this is for you. Welcome to the Stuck in My Mind podcast. Live every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 4 p.m. Central.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Ramily Talk on this Thursday, January 23rd, 2025. As we get ready to close our shop, I did tell you it was a bittersweet episode, but before I get to the sweet part, because we already talked about the bitter part, losing to the Eagles in the divisional round. Got some more things I want to cover with you. First of all, we are locked in at the 26th overall pick in the first round of the 2025 NFL Draft. If you want to see the order, that is the order right there. Obviously, the Tennessee Titans has the number 1 pick as of right now, followed by the Cleveland Browns, the New York Giants, New England Patriots, and the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's the top 5. And if you go down, we are sitting at 26, right behind the Houston Texans and above the Baltimore Ravens and the Detroit Lions. All right. So that's our first thing. It's a lot of different things we might do with this pick. We could trade down and get more draft picks. We could use it. We don't know. But hey, I trust Leslie. I don't know about y'all, but I trust what Leslie has done without picks and with picks is amazing. So I have full faith and trust in Leslie and Sean McVay that they'll figure out what's the best thing to do with this pick and go from there. Also, here are our upcoming free agents. For our unrestricted free agents, you see wide receiver Tutu Atwell, defensive tackle Bobby Brown III, Jimmy Garoppolo, Michael Hort, Akila Jackson. I want Jackson back. Okay, I would love to have Jackson back. Safety John Johnson III. I don't know about John Johnson. He barely played for us. He's been injured most of the time, so we'll see about that. Wide receiver Tyler Johnson, who filled in, I believe, when we didn't have Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua for about 5 games, so he filled in what he needed to. Tight end Hunter Long, Connor McDermott, Laurel Marshkin, Joseph Noteboom. We'll talk about Joseph Noteboom. Troy Reader. Troy Reader could be on the way out because Christian Roseboom, who is also on this list, filled in aptly when they put Omar Space and Christian Roseboom together as the duo of linebackers. Linebacker could play better, not the best, but better. We got to keep DeMarcus Robinson. DeMarcus Robinson has come up big for us. Matter of fact, one of the working on the 3 catches where he actually took away a pick, and it came a big play for us. So those are unrestricted free. Our restricted R/rights. Exclusive rights free agent is Jack Hamir, Dylan McMahon, and Ronnie Rivers. So for me, keep Christian Roseboom, keep DeMarcus Robinson. We can keep Noteboom. I'm cool with that. Gotta keep Ali Jackson. Gotta keep Jackson. All right. Bobby Brown, Tutu Atwell, all other people I'll be wanting to see to keep. Michael Hort, he's on the fringe as well. Connor McDermott, we probably can get somebody better. But main thing keep Rose going at the linebacker position. Keep DeMarcus Robinson in that receiving core. That's a great receiving core that we have, but we got to keep DeMarcus Robinson and try to keep Noteboom and Jetson for the offensive line so we can have that continuity going into next season. So, but we'll see what Nestle and Sean McVay come up with. See what deals that they can come up with when it's time to have those talk with our unrestricted free agents and see who we can keep and who can we not keep, and see if we can replace them in the draft or in free agency somewhere else. All right. We got some awards. The 2024 Pro Football Writers of America Awards are rookie teams Brandon Fitz, Gerald Verse, and Jordy Winnington. You know, Brandon Fitz as the D lineman, Verse as the linebacker, and Jordan Whittington as the kick returner. So congratulations to you guys on being nominated on the all-rookie team for the Pro Football Writers of America Awards. Speaking of which, Gerald Verse is the Defensive Rookie of the Year for the Pro Football Writers of America. Congratulations to you. He is presumed to be the NFL's Defensive Rookie of the Year, and then Jaden Daniels will be the Offensive Rookie of the Year on the other side, which is I'm looking forward to that, but we'll find out at NFL Honors the Thursday before the Super Bowl. Okay. So I'm looking forward to that. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, what you see here is something that it was an email sent to me by Feedspot. And it says that, and those of you who've seen the Facebook posts or the Instagram posts or the tweet out, Feedspot nominated put Ramily Talk this very show in their top 100 Los Angeles podcasts. We're not talking Los Angeles sports podcast. We're talking Los Angeles podcasts. Every podcast that's in Los Angeles, and Ramily Talk came in at 55. And then number 2 of the top 5 NFC West podcasts. Okay, so we talking 55 in the top 100 Los Angeles podcasts, and number 2 in the top 5 NFC West podcasts, according to Feedspot, which is an honor. It is a blessing. I'm so thankful to be on any list when I'm doing this podcast. You know, I've been doing this for 5 seasons. This is season 5 here. Next season will be season 6. And the support that I get from people that are continuous listeners, especially those of you out there that are Ram fans out in LA or St. Louis or wherever you at, I truly honor and thankful for your support. Your support of the show, your support of me, and how I go about talking about the team that we love in the Los Angeles Rams. And so I'm very thankful and honored for you guys. I'm also thankful and honored to Feedspot to consider my podcast in both of these lists. If you want to see the list, it will be in the show notes. And I just want to say thank you to everybody that's been on this journey with me since 2020, man, during the pandemic. 5 seasons. Well, so say 2019, you know, we went through 2019, we went through the pandemic, then Super Bowl season, then the season. It's been a lot, man, but it's been fun. And I'm very thankful for that. Ramily Talk is getting recognition anywhere in the world. So with that being said, that's how I wanted to end the show on a bittersweet note. The bitter part is us losing to the Eagles. The sweet part is that Ramily Talk is being recognized as a top 100 podcast in Los Angeles, which is a fathom to believe that it's happened, but it is here. So thank y'all for everybody who support me. Thank you to Feedspot. Again, the entire list that you can see will be, both of the lists will be in the show notes. So thank y'all. Anybody that's new, you know, you can listen to Ramily Talk on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Pandora, wherever else you get your podcasts at. Make sure you subscribe to everyone. And this is not the end of season 5. You know, I'm going to do something a little different. So like how I do at the beginning of the season, when I do a season preview, I'm going to do a season review. So I'm just going to do the same thing what I do with the season preview as we preview games and like in certain weeks and stuff. I'm gonna do the same thing with the review. So you're gonna get a couple more episodes from season 5 from right here on Ramily Talk. We'll see how this goes. Gonna test it out, see how I do. And then with that being said, thank y'all for tuning in on today. Y'all enjoy y'all Thursday, enjoy y'all weekend. And I will see y'all next week to begin our season review. Going back and going through I believe I'm gonna go through weeks 1 through 5 before our bye week. And we'll go from there. Y'all be blessed. Stay safe out there if you're in Los Angeles, and thank y'all so much for the support.
Thank you for tuning in to Ramily Talk. Ramily Talk is sponsored by Fanatics, Lids, and Paramount Plus. Get your favorite sports appeal with Fanatics or Lids, and get great streaming service with Paramount Plus. If you want to donate to the program, you can donate to us via Cash App, $D Playmakers. That is again, $D Playmakers. And remember, you can follow and subscribe to Ramily Talk on all podcast directories, including Apple, Google, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube. And those of you who are on Apple, leave us a great review, leave comments on how you feel about Ramily Talk and the episode that you listen to. Tune in again next time for more Ramily Talk, hosted by the Playmaker.